all the Funko Pops are there, the Deku figures over there, the Cat Mario figures right there, the McDonald's toys are there and there. I think I can go sit down now. Finally finished organizing all that. Okay, so maybe I was forgetting something. Hello?
Hey, Ventus?
Who is this?
Brandon, you know, the guy who put both Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventure games in your box of Creeper Crunch?
Right. I thought that was a weird cereal box prize.
So, I got a favor to ask you. I need you to talk about Amiibo.
Listen, I'm all about wasting my time reviewing pieces of plastic, but I don't have time for that right now.
Look, I just really need you to do this.
Why?
I don't want to talk about it right now. Just do it, please!
Hello? Hello? Not you too! Fine. Well, I guess it's finally time for me to talk about one of the things I feel like Nintendo could have done more with. It's time for me to talk about Amiibo.
Amiibo!
Amiibo were released back in 2014 to coincide with the release of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. At the time, Toys to Life was the big thing with Activision Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and LEGO Dimensions. Amiibo stood out amongst them all though, because these weren't original characters or characters that existed from other forms of media, these were Nintendo characters, along with whoever decided to join the Smash roster that day.
You frickin' fricks!
See, Skylanders were pretty hit and miss in terms of their design. Sometimes you get something actually cool looking, while other times you get a mutilated tree. Disney, it's a children's media company. Outside of their functionality in game, there was no need for these Disney figures, and you could argue it even needed a crossover because Kingdom Hearts was already a very successful series. The Amiibo craze even ended up eventually spreading to Disney anyways.
The board expects your resignation in 30 days.
But you can't do this to me. I started this company. You know how much I sacrificed?
Then there was the one I feel was the most underrated, despite never owning, LEGO Dimensions. I feel not only it had the widest variety of characters, but also instead of just being a figure, you get to build the figure. Hell, you even get to build the portal. But Amiibo overtook all of these. Amiibo attracted people who weren't even Nintendo fans, because some of these third-party characters featured in Smash for Wii U gave these characters more affordable, high-quality figures. People went mad for these things to the point where trucks were stolen, they were bought in mass out of spitefulness, and they were literally setting them on fire. It was like this for a good few years, but as the other three big Toys to Life franchises died off, the hype around Amiibo eventually began to die down. There were still games being released with support for them, like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in 2017 and Animal Crossing New Horizons in 2020, but things just weren't the same as they once were. Now for my time with Amiibos. See, I was kinda late to this generation of Nintendo. I mean, there clearly wasn't that much for me to see.
Hot buttered popcorn, that's a deal!
But I had just gotten a 3DS XL for Christmas of 2014, a whole 2 months before the new 3DS XL came out. I didn't have any games that supported Amiibo at the time, and even if I did, I never saw that NFC reader that they released out in the wild. Fast forward to 2016, that's where everything started for me. So now, instead of going through everything in a chronological order based on when and where everything happened like I usually do, I'm just going to go game by game in whatever order. Starting with I got Super Smash Bros. In 2017 for my 13th birthday, and I got some amiibos some point after. I had the Bowser Skylander amiibo, so for a while I used that in there, but my first actual amiibo in the Smash Bros. Line was Famicom Rob. But as you see right here, he's been through some shit. I know the whole thing about this is that you were supposed to train it and level it up, but it really just kind of felt like I was making my own custom CPU. The only notable memory I have was with this kid I went to middle school with, who very much didn't know what a shower was. He would get mad at me because my amiibo was overpowered, but he'd also just get mad at me and any of my other friends when we'd win in general, despite him winning every other round. Let's go. GG.
Fucking bullshit, dude. You were being way too much.
It's not that deep, bro.
Listen, you didn't play properly, now I will Super Saiyan you! Kame! Hame! Ha!
Mother 3 will release in North America before you're able to do that. By the time I was done with Amiibo, I ended up getting 6 additional figures in the Smash Bros. Line. The Retro 3-pack, Palutena, Mario, and Sora. The Retro 3-pack I grabbed because it was a 3-pack, it looked cool, I recognized the characters from only Smash, and it was only $20. Palutena my friend gave to me, but if I'm being entirely honest, I barely knew what a Kid Icarus was at that point, so in my head, it was just a cool anime-looking goddess girl with green hair. Mario, he's Mario, so there wasn't really anything deep behind that. Sora was the only time I ever gone out of my way to get an amiibo on launch, because it's Sora. It's a big deal that he was even in Smash Bros. To begin with. So I came out of the amiibo retirement I was in to get him, and he's kind of a trophy in my collection because he's a physical representation of one of my biggest childhood dreams coming true. Now on to... Yes, Mario Maker and Yoshi's Woolly World. These two have very similar yet very different functionality. Yoshi's Woolly World was very interesting with its amiibo functionality. I bought a blue yarn Yoshi amiibo from my friend and its functionality was neat, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's a necessarily bad way to incorporate it, but it just kind of seems like a functionality built for single people. Later they released a big Yarn Yoshi amiibo, and you'd think they'd make a big Yarn Yoshi appear in the game, but no, instead it just gives you a double Yoshi like all the other ones give you. I see where the problem started now. Now for Super Mario Maker. Well, arguably the compatibility concept is rather basic. I feel it has a lot of personality with each character being recreated in the Super Mario Bros. Art style, with all of them having their own little animations. I remember the first level I made using this was Rob's Great Adventure. Did it have anything to do with Rob as a character? No. I don't know where the fuck his Great Adventure was off to. Peach's Castle? The Gyromite Lab? The Empire State Building? Now, before I get into the largest game for me with Amiibo, I'm gonna let a few people speak about some of the games that were part of their experience with Amiibo.
This is the Chibi-Robo Amiibo. In most games he is a general amiibo, but in 2 particular video games he can be utilized in a fun way. Booting up Mario Maker, if you tap him on the gamepad while editing, you'll get yourself a Chibi-Robo costume that you can use to platform all over the place. And in Chibi-Robo Ziplash, oh, god damn it. Chibi-Robo acts as a pet as well as bonus content for the Ziplash game. Just link a Chibi-Robo amiibo to your game and then keep continuously tapping it as you play throughout the game and you'll level it up. However, a vending machine is also locked behind this amiibo, so if you don't own it, you're locked out of that part of the game. While that content classifies as silly extra stuff, I still find it kinda odd that it was locked behind this amiibo. Speaking of which, look at this amiibo. A shiny metallic surface, a beautiful pose, and a magnificent plug. This Chibi-Robo amiibo is absolutely the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And nabbing one is quite easy considering the price, so act now before they rise. Sadly, it's because of Ziplash that Chibi-Robo will probably never get another game again. It's a sad truth, and the fact that they made an amiibo of him at least shows that he has some physical history in the world. But this is a personal amiibo to me. It's the only one that I own. Every Chibi-Robo game that I played had some personal impact on me. Except Ziplash. It wasn't because it was a platformer game, it was just because there was nothing Chibi-Robo about it. And looking at the credits of the game, it didn't really seem like many Skip members were actually in charge of the game that much, giving us a game that didn't really know its identity because it wasn't written with that intent like the others. And sure, destination wheel repetitive gameplay, but I had fun with this game, and the boss fights are better than any new Soup one can offer. Say what you will, but my boy Chibo has an amiibo, and I'm very happy about that.
Oh, I almost fell. Mario Party 10! Oh my god, I almost fell off the cart. Oh yeah, this game had a cart system. What were they thinking? But we're not here to talk about the cart system today. Today we're here to talk about Amiibo Party, which this was their attempt to bring back the old school Mario Party. Did it work? Well, here's the thing. How Amiibo Party works, you buy a Super Mario series Amiibo back then when this game came out in 2015. However, when you use a character, you get the exact same board. The only thing that changed is the theme, which, don't get me wrong, the themes are pretty cool where you can use it for each character, but the only downside, it's the exact same board. It's just a rectangle, guys. It's literally a rectangle. A rectangle. What were they thinking? Nintendo! Ugh. But it was original Mario Party. You just rolled the dice and stuff like that. But that was Amiibo Party. Pretty fun or less. Wish they just changed the boards up so you can move around different spots instead of just going in a straight line. Might have said Mario Party 10. Might have.
So I like Splatoon. Hi, I'm Brocodes, and I made that one video / soap opera with my friends about why I really like Splatoon. It's such a wonderful series with a living, breathing, connected world that I think you struggle to find in a lot of other Nintendo franchises. And I get to show off just how much I like the series with these little guys. I don't buy Amiibo an awful lot anymore, purely because I transitioned from tiny little 12-year-olds with nothing else to spend their pocket money on into whatever the hell this thing is that carries about £10,000 worth of student loan debt with them at all times.
Can you tell them no, it's the university?
As far as I'm aware, this was the first Splatoon Amiibo I ever got, the Inkling Girl Super Smash Bros. Variant. To the uninitiated, this might just seem like the standard Inkling Girl that released in 2015, but this was actually a sort of re-release of that Amiibo, just with a Super Smash Bros. Base on the bottom because it released in the Super Smash Bros. Line. That means it can be used as a fighter in Smash Ultimate, but more importantly, as an Inkling Girl in Splatoon. It seems barbaric to keep these scanned figures locked in plastic tubes forever, but they've been doing it since 2015 and never once complained, I think, so it's probably okay. Going back to actual functionality though, you get some dialogue from whoever you've scanned in, no matter which Splatoon game you're playing, but the items they unlock are kept behind another hurdle depending on if you've booted up 1, 2, or 3.
Wait, why am I not playing Splatoon 3?
Every Wave 1 Splatoon 1 Amiibo gives you a set of challenges to complete in the single player campaign, unlocking new cash, weapon blueprints, pieces of gear. It's actually quite smart to add to the single player campaign like that, especially because it's so short. And then Callie and Marie just let you view Splatfest because fuck you. In Splatoon 2 and 3, however, these challenges have been replaced by winning 10 games in multiplayer to unlock a single piece of gear, which means roughly 30 wins to complete a set of gear? As far as I understand, what the fuck? After I paid for the Amiibo too. You know what? I'm not even mad at it, because they gave these Amiibo photo mode functionality in Splatoon 2 and 3. This is all that matters if we're being honest. Oh yeah, I should probably bring up who actually got an Amiibo. Every wave of Splatoon Amiibo, though it's not truly accurate to describe them as waves, usually brings a boy and girl Inkling or Octoling, and then a secret third thing. Then there's been additional waves of the idol characters for each game. Pearl and Marina got Amiibo figures during Splatoon 2's heyday, Callie and Marie have had theirs for a while now, and Deep Cut just recently got their Amiibo, and oh my god, Big Man is huge! I don't own any of the idols, I would love to though, but I did receive this triple pack of Splatoon 3 Amiibo as a gift, and they look so cool. It's something about the way these are molded and finished. I've always thought Amiibos looked high quality, especially the more recent ones in the Nintendo Switch era, but these are just gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, but I never collected them because... why?
By the time I had the disposable income to buy Amiibo, the craze had died down. And to be perfectly honest, even knowing how cool they are, I'd rather put that money towards other things like games, more food, university savings. in that order. I still gawk at Amiibo of characters I really like that deep cut triple pack. I've been blushing and looking down at my feet every time I think about them. But I'm not really likely to buy them, because once I'm done admiring the craftsmanship of these pretty expensive Toys to Life characters, they're gonna be condemned to a life of... Now I know how Wheezy felt in Toy Story 2.
Yeah, I bet if you've been around for a while, it doesn't surprise you that the biggest game with Amiibo functionality for me is Animal Crossing. I've made a few videos talking about the games, but I've never really touched on this aspect. In terms of functionality, I think this game did it the best. You could tap your Amiibo and have whatever Animal Crossing villager come to your town and have them move in or have them give you an item. Or, if you have any of the Animal Crossing New Leaf cards, or if you even have a few select Amiibos from Zelda, Splatoon, or even Monster Hunter Japan, they'll show up at the campground where you can literally buy whatever you want and have them move into your town. There's also functionality in some of the other modern Animal Crossing games. Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, you can design homes for your favorite villagers, which is just kind of neat. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival... I feel like the internet's already spoken enough for me on this one, so I'm not even gonna bother saying anything. Then there's Animal Crossing New Horizons, where it kind of does the same thing as New Leaf, but worse. You just go up to the ATM and you call whoever you want and ask them to come to your campground and move in. That's about it. They cut out all of these cool Nintendo-themed villagers, which I think is really stupid. Now, I feel it's finally time for me to discuss why Amiibo didn't mean as much to me as the other Toys to Life games. First of all, while I just talked about how much I loved the functionality in Animal Crossing New Leaf, I don't think I was fully satisfied. You see, with Skylanders, Disney Infinity, LEGO Dimensions, hell, even the Hyperscan, you get to play as the figure or card you put on a scanner. You get to put yourself in their shoes. The best way I can describe it is the feeling it gives you is that you get to see this figure that you went out and got come to life. It's almost like you're seeing that imagination that you'd get from playing with action figures, but you're visually seeing it play out right in front of you. You get to go on an adventure, grow and connect with the characters that you have figures of, and you get to keep that physical part of your adventure and take it with you and even use it in future games in those series. With Amiibo, it was just kind of tapping and watching something happen. Animal Crossing at least lets you see some sort of growth and interaction with those characters, but it's not to the same extent. It really sucks that Amiibo ended up being the last man standing, and the only reason I believe that they are is because at the end of the day, they're just collectible figures you can put on a shelf and feature a lot of already famous, pre-established characters. I know I have some mixed feelings on Amiibo, and that's because I feel like their functionality doesn't live up to their full potential. But at the end of the day, they're still cool little figures. But how do I get Sora into Wii Fit U?